Early in the morning,
What's going on, the people? Them, it's your boy Cam Topical Juice, and we are back with another disturbing video all about Diddy himself. It's been a few days since I dropped a video because work has had me by the testicles. I've been doing 12-hour days every single day. I've even got work today on a Sunday from like 1 till 10, so it's going to be a long day. You can see it in my eyes, I'm tired, my hay fever's killing me, my eyes are all puffy and ting. But anyway, guys, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about Diddy, specifically Diddy having inappropriate relations with underage boys. Do you understand what I'm telling you here? We all know that Diddy is being exposed to everything under the sun right now. Having relations with men, having relations with women, essaying men, essaying women. What else do we know about Diddy? He is a prolific groomer. The guy has groomed Usher. The guy has groomed Justin Bieber. We know what this man is capable of. We know what this man is capable of. And it turns out, over 10 years ago, Diddy himself was being investigated and people were prodding around, poking around, asking questions about his sexuality and whether he's had relations with young males, you understand? So this is another sick story, another expose about Diddy. Let's get straight into this video, guys. All I need you to do is press that little like button underneath, the little ping. It takes half a second and it makes a massive difference on how the YouTube video performs in the algorithm. Press that subscribe button, it's road to 50k. Press the bell to be notified. I'll be dropping videos in the AM and the PM. Merchandise in the description below. And guys, look out for the Patreon. I'm going to be planning content soon. Planning how I'm going to expose the world for what it really is on a different platform. So stay tuned for that. Patreon will be coming soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, so guys, I'm going to start by reading an article that talks about what I'm talking about. And then I'll show you the real life evidence that P. Diddy was being investigated for this over 10 years ago. The actual lawsuit itself. As you can see on your screen here, who remembers Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy Henchman was a prolific figure in the New York scene. He was a gangster, but he was also involved in the music industry. While the feds were putting a case forward against Henchman, they were actually asking him questions about Diddy. So as you can see on your screens, it says, convicted drug kingpin Jimmy Henchman questioned by feds about Diddy possibly having sex with underage boys. Jimmy Rosemond, aka Jimmy Henchman, will be sentenced to life in prison on October 25th, 2023, by the way, in a Brooklyn federal court for his role in a cocaine distribution ring. Prior to prosecutors making the decision to give Rosemond life, they held a proffer session with the former record industry executive to question him about several known acquaintances, including Bad Boy Records CEO Sean Puffy Combs. Now guys, before I carry on, if you don't know what a proffer agreement is a written contract between federal prosecutor and the defendant, or a person under criminal investigation, where the defendant agrees to provide the prosecutor with useful information. It's basically snitching, but what's important about this is the statements that they make will not be used against them in criminal proceedings. So if you cast your minds back to the most recent example of a proffer agreement, who remembers Keefy D, the guy who is now being tried for the murder of Tupac? He was speaking so freely on interviews because he thought he was safe with a proffer agreement. A proffer agreement only protects what you said in that specific session. In that session in a room with the feds, whatever you say can't be used against you. But if you talk about it in interviews, if you talk about it over there with Tom, Dick and Harry, yes it can. They can still form an investigation against you based on the information. They just can't use what you said. Do you understand? So basically, that's what the feds tried to do 11 years ago with Jimmy Henchman about P. Diddy. In an article published by The Smoking Gun, it was disclosed that IRS agent Mark Van Drisek testified about some of the questioning during the proffer session. We have information through other witnesses that the defendant may have made an admission to Sean Combs, Van Drisek said. The nature of the admission was not discussed during further testimony. Henchman said that him and Diddy had a cordial relationship and had done business together previously. Henchman stated that things turned awkward when an investigator showed him naked pictures of different women. The reason for this was not disclosed. Jimmy added that he was then asked about the entertainer's preferences, including, but not limited to, Sean Combs having relations with underage males. The purpose of the proffer session was to find out if Henchman could offer any information that investigators could use in other crimes. In turn, they would give him a lighter sentence. Prosecutors were disappointed in what he had to say and rejected his bid for a cooperation deal. Let me break that down for you in simple terms. They asked him to snitch on Diddy and tell them everything he knows about what he could possibly be into. He decided not to snitch. That's what it means by they were disappointed. He failed to cooperate, he didn't give anything up, so they didn't give him no deals. As you can see on your screens again, this is the real life lawsuit. This is the real life evidence. Let me cast your attention to the left. It says number 19. Read that. Proffers became more awkward with defendant when prosecutor Tom Kaminsky, that's an interesting name, I wonder where he's from, asked the defendant in a room full of agents about women and started showing him naked pictures of different women to the defendant. Questions became even more bizarre when said prosecutor asked about Diddy's preferences, including, but not only, Sean Combs having relations with boys. So as you can see, they tried to coerce him. They tried to say, you might get time reduced for all your crimes. You might even get to go home if you give us certain information. Now guys, why would they say that? Why would they say that all the way back in 2013, guys? Why would anyone be asking about what Diddy's into back then? It's because they knew what Diddy was into back then. It said that witnesses had come forward and explained from different sources what Diddy's into. The feds were well on their way to looking into what Diddy was up to.
Good morning. I can see in your room. Hey, stop screaming. Hey, it's just me, P. Diddy. Come on, what's your problem? Hold on, stop screaming. Come on, it's just me, P. It's me, P.
A giant P. Diddy!
Quiet. Your mama hear you. Hey, where you going? Hey!
That is a clip from Nickelodeon. What do we see in that clip? A young P. Diddy in the bedroom of a young boy. Tell me this is just Nickelodeon jokes. Go on, someone comment that. Please tell me this is just humor. With everything we know about Diddy and what he's been accused of, please tell me this is just a joke. Clearly this is not a joke. They've been showing us exactly what Hollywood's into this whole time and we didn't know. What do we know about Nickelodeon? Dan Schneider, one of the biggest bigwigs in Nickelodeon, has been exposed for everything that he's been doing. All the abuse that he put on Amanda Byrne. Apparently he even got her pregnant. Apparently he abused Drake Bell. It's all linked. Nickelodeon, Diddy, all these things, it's all linked.
He's spitting high five.
Oh, girl, you the one that's high five. If you wasn't my man's mom, I'd tear that ass up.
Thank you.
That was Diddy and Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro was dressed as what? He was dressed as a woman. What do we know about Hollywood and men dressing as women? It's all part of the same agenda. Robert De Niro himself is a Freemason. He was literally in a film with Leonardo DiCaprio, another Freemason, all about Freemasonry.
One thing the movie revealed that most people didn't pay much mind to was that William King Hale was a 32nd degree Mason. The movie openly reveals this in this very important scene we're going to be talking about in a bit. Looking into William, I discovered that he indeed was a Freemason, a part of the Grey Horse Lodge 124 in Fairfax, and a member of the Guthrie Valley of the Scottish Rite as well. What's even more interesting is that this scene in the movie was actually filmed inside a real Masonic lodge. In fact, the very same Masonic lodge William was a part of. In the movie, there's a scene where William brings his nephew Ernest to the lodge to punish him. We see William force Ernest to kneel in front of the Masonic lodge altar before he bends Ernest over and paddles him with a Masonic hazing paddle.
I'm a 32nd degree Mason. I am imbued. Confidence, trust, and responsibility, among other things. Yes, sir. You know what that is? No, sir.
As you saw for yourself, William, who is played by De Niro, confesses to being a 32nd degree Mason before paddling Ernest, who is played by DiCaprio. The scene was filmed in a real Masonic lodge in Oklahoma, the very same Masonic lodge William King was a part of. This was an obvious Masonic hazing ritual, or what many call a humiliation ritual, something all Masons are eventually put through. They hid a real Masonic hazing ritual in plain sight in this movie, and no one even batted an eye. Not only did this confirm that William was a Freemason, but that the Masonic order was behind his actions. What makes the scene even more interesting is that both Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio are Freemasons. Leonardo is actually listed on 2 official Freemason websites as a famous Freemason. Both sites openly show him as a member. We can also see Leo doing Masonic hand gestures since early in his Hollywood career. Robert De Niro has also shown his Masonic alliance early in his career, as in this photo around the time he was filming The Godfather, we can see De Niro doing the Masonic hidden hand gesture, showing he took the oath. In this photo, De Niro is seen placing his hand into his jacket. This pose is called the Masonic hidden hand, and the Masons do it to show they're Master Masons. So this scene, which was filmed in a real Masonic lodge about a real Masonic hazing ritual, was being acted out by real Freemason members. So many people saw this scene and thought nothing of it, thought it was just some weird scene added in for dramatic effect, but this wasn't that at all, but a glimpse at what those who run Hollywood are up to.
Everything is all linked. They've been throwing it in our face the whole time, guys. You've got Diddy appearing in Nickelodeon programs in the bedroom of a child. You've got Diddy being accused of liking underage boys. Are we not seeing this? Everything is clear as day. It's in your face what is happening here. And it's all linked to the cabal. You understand? It's all linked to the elites. It's all linked to the higher powers, politicians, royal family, CEOs. Do you understand what I'm telling you here? I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but all I know is this year, we know what's happening, innit? We are literally entering the new era. Some people call it the age of Aquarius. Some people call it the age of Horus. All you need to know is we are literally entering the end times, guys. And what we mean by end times, we mean energetically. Not the world is just going to blow up out of nowhere. We mean we are literally entering the end times. We're coming to a crossroads. You're either going to go that way or you're going to go that way. You're going to join the rest of them like towards damnation and hell. Yeah, and I'm not even a religious guy like that. I told you hell exists and it's on earth. Or you're going to go the other way and be awakened. Wake up. I'm not talking woke. I'm not talking woke. Wake up to what the real world actually is. See it for what it is and rise above it. Focus on inner peace and yourself and critical thinking and doing your own research and your own positive spiritual journey towards positive light, not towards the darkness. Why do you think Beyonce pushes all this negative imagery on you? Why do you think Doja Cat pushes this imagery on you? Why do you think Lil Nas X or Sam Smith? It's all the same thing. I mean, I've kind of gone off on a tangent here. This ain't about Diddy, but it's all part of the same system. Like, the world is crumbling around us, you feel me? And they're all part of it. They all play a different role. They're all puppets in a different, like, game, you feel me? I'm not saying there's direct links between all the people I just mentioned and Diddy, but there are ties. It's all part of the same system. That's what I'm saying. So guys, before I go off on a tangent, this is the type of stuff that I'm going to talk about on Patreon, the type of stuff that I can't go into in YouTube. So yeah, stay tuned, man. Let me know your thoughts, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you lot soon. Bow.